2026, and it's an all-new episode of Nobody Asked Us with Doesn't Care, presented by Brooks Running, Desiree Linden. What's up?
Party fists right there. That was great. One breath intro with all the energy, enthusiasm. Well done, Caro. Starting the new year off right.
Yeah, we are. It's a big deal. It's the first time I've said 2026, so.
Yeah. This is the season where you write down the wrong year on everything for at least a month, right?
Yeah, good month or so. You're like, damn it, every check, every form. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you ever write down something wrong on a USADA paper and then go to scratch it out?
Yeah, well.
And then they shred your face. They're like, no, you got to start over. And you're like,
yeah. I'm not going to lie. It's been a long time since I filled out
a
but paper.
I was just thinking about that's the first thing I thought of. You got to cross it out. And they're like, oh my God, you idiot.
Yeah. And they're like, no, you have to start all over.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Things I won't miss. But then they got iPads and that was a big win.
Yeah. Well, that's the funny thing about the USADA growth in my career was that it used to be like you'd fill out these forms and fax them in.
Oh, wow.
And if you were going to be gone, you'd have to fax it. So we had to get a fax machine just so we could fax USADA. And then
did you have to do daily whereabouts?
We had to do
weekly.
Yeah, it was kind of like it was now, but it was still pretty broad. But if you're like, oh, I'm going to a track meet and I didn't have that in my calendar when I turned it in 3 months ago or 2 months ago, you'd be faxing in your changes. And then you were able to text and email, and then you're able to access the website, and then eventually
the upgrades of technology.
Yeah, and then so that's when people are like, oh, I didn't upgrade my USADA. I'm like, you literally can do it right now.
Right, you just have up to the minute.
Yeah,
up to the minute before.
Stop talking and just do it now. Yeah,
that's wild work. Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah,
well, 2026, all the tech.
How was your new year?
It was good. I'm trying to think. We just really haven't been doing anything exciting, which is kind of perfect.
I love that.
Yeah. It's been super low key. We've been getting a good amount of snow, which has been fun. And the dogs have been doing a lot of running.
Yeah.
So they just go out, tear around, and then they're absolutely crashed for the rest of the day. It's just this routine, this cycle. And I almost feel like they're looking at us like, please stop. I don't want to go again. They're so tired. And then the next day,
fit.
Yeah, the next day they go out and the same thing. So
is it still pretty icy there? Is there enough snow now that you got something to grip?
Last night we got some good snow. I haven't run outside in a while because I hate coming back after a break after New York because the weather dramatically changes in that time. In I was just I don't want to be cold. It's just terrible. Right. So I've been running on the treadmill. We don't have the Peloton treadmill here. We have this really terrible one that the screen works 10% of the time.
Oh no.
The pace is plus minus something. So I just kind of go by heart rate, and it's a crapshoot. I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm putting in time.
Is there any sort of indoor facility or indoor running arena near you at all?
No. Actually, my college coach at one point was looking at buying a building to try and build something out here. And I don't know if he couldn't find the right spot or it was wasn't big enough, but no. But I think today, I might do an afternoon run. And I think that because Ryan's running outside every day because he doesn't care. Mm-hmm. And he takes the dogs. And he was like, no, it's pretty good today. So it's a little bit grippy. We got 6 inches last night.
Wow, that's good snow.
Yeah, so I think that this afternoon might be the day.
When we were in Duluth, my niece is getting ready for some indoor races, so she had worked out getting onto the indoor track at University of Minnesota Duluth, which is really a hard rubber surface. Mm-hmm. And so we tagged along, and I have to tell you, my first ever track meet for the high school in 7th grade when I was 12 years old was in this field house. Because track starts, and the tracks are still covered with snow. And I walked in there. It's only 160 meters or 162 meters or something. Nice. But I walked in, and the smell is it just took me back. It's nothing has changed in 35 years. It was crazy. It smells the same. I was jogging in the outside. I got track hack and I didn't do a single stride or anything. It's just dry in
Nothing
there.
fast, yeah.
Yeah, it's just like, it is so crazy how it just, like, some things never change.
So that was your primary indoor training facility?
Well, I never got to train in there or anything.
Yeah,
So
okay.
like our first meet of the year was always in there because the tracks weren't melted yet. Usually like on spring break, we'd be, if you weren't lucky enough to go on spring break trip, which I never was, we would meet and shovel the track over spring break.
Love that.
So we would always have one meet in the indoor facility at UMD to start the year.
Okay.
And it's, like I said, it's like a rubber surface. Like my nieces were wearing spikes and they were like,
oh no,
running around. It's like, that sounds painful.
Yeah.
But it was always really fun and it felt fast because it was on this little track. And it was just like, you were like excited to get in there and finally start the racing season. That is the very first race I ever ran for the high school was in that facility. And I can't remember if I was running a 32. It must have been a 3200. And I was running behind my babysitter, who was a senior. She wasn't my babysitter anymore, but she had babysat me. And we were like running. And finally she just goes, Kara, just pass me, like. And so I did. And she was super nice. And I still see her in town when I'm in town. She's still so nice to me. And she was like, gave me this it was a really good like learning lesson of like, you'd want to be respectful, but racing is racing,
For sure. Yeah.
But anyway,
I just had a really great flashback to babysitting story from last summer.
Oh, from you?
No, from you. I won't even bring it up, but it was epic. The Minnesota babysitting scene is insane. And all the babysitters are so polite.
On our pod retreat?
No, it was a different time.
Did I tell you on here?
No, it wasn't on here. It was This was way too aggressive. Sorry. Let's move on.
I swear I was a good babysitter. There was just one very significant incident.
Everyone lived. It's fine.
Everyone.
Barely, but no, I'm just kidding. Okay, what'd you get up to on New Year's? Did you guys go? Did you party? Did you stay up late? Did you stay up till midnight?
Kind of accidentally. So that was the last night that my sister and her kids were in town. From my sister who lives in Oregon. So the kids wanted to go down by the lake, and I am not afraid of the lake. I trust it. I know it's frozen. So I'm the one that's willing to go walk across the lake with the kids. So
How deep is the lake?
I mean, in the deepest place, it's it's not a deep lake in general. It's like 5 to 8 feet deep, most of the lake. There are a few spots where it's like 18 feet, but I mean.
You're not going to fall in there. You're not going to find it.
You could drive a car in there right now. Seriously. Yeah. But I get it. It moans. And so it's like, it can be scary. But the kids were down there and they wanted to walk around the lake. And my sister was like, oh, it was like -25 or something. She's like, fine. And then we went down there and the lake was moaning. And so then a couple of the kids got scared. But Colt is like me and is not scared, to our own detriment. And then, so we went and walked around with my niece Molly, and everyone else kind of played in the snow. And then we were all going to go to bed at like 10. And then we actually went to bed at like 11:45. And then at midnight, we were all like just yelling, Happy New Year from various places in my mom's house. So it was super fun because we were outside and the kids were playing, but it was not a party scene whatsoever.
Nothing wrong with that. Yeah.
In fact, I think I had a couple beers and I'm the only person that drank out of everybody that was there.
You drank alone?
I drank alone.
Let's chat while we're in Houston. Let's get on top of this.
It's New Year's Eve. I went to this. That was the day that we did the indoor track workout.
Oh, yeah.
I want to have a beer tonight. It's New Year's Eve.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, yeah, I know.
You have to quench the throat after an indoor session.
A track hack.
It'll help. Yeah, no, guilty as well. I was in bed 11:50, 11:45. So, yeah, we didn't make it. But no, we had a good, decent snow that day because we have buddies who always do a really big fireworks show, which is kind of epic. And we're like, we're not going to drive over there. We're not going to stand outside because it's freezing and they're not going to be able to have them tonight. Like, it was windy.
Oh, yeah.
Not crazy bad. Like, we're on the lake, so the wind always seems 20 times worse. They're just a little bit back of it, but they have sit up high and have a good view. But they apparently got them all off, which was
nice.
Great for them, but unfortunate for us because we stayed home.
Did you hear it?
No. A little too far away.
Okay.
Yeah, but
nice
for them. Yeah. So, yeah, we yelled at each other just next to each other. Hey! Dogs. Rivers has a ball that lights up that he brings to bed every night, which is insane. So like 4 a.m, he'll just start playing with it, and like the whole room will light up.
I think you guys should just leave that outside the room.
You
at
can't.
night, or
No,
put
he's
it up on a shelf.
obsessed. He is obsessed. So if you move it anywhere, like he won't go to sleep. So like they'll just be playing around with it at 4 a.m. I'm like, can you, like, the whole room will light up.
No,
but anyways,
I would die.
party ball is what he had, and so midnight party ball went off. All right, it's great.
Yeah.
Good times.
That's good. Yeah, I like that time of year where like nothing's going on. I mean, it was a little bit stressful because of our house situation, which I've had a lot of people in the comments asking about my house, and I seriously appreciate it. I think I said it on the last pod. There were three leaks in the walls, 4 under the house. They've all been patched, and now the putting back of the house is taking place. So
the putting back
together. So obviously the exterior where it was coming out the bottom of the house, and we don't have a basement or anything. I think that was starting to be worked on this week. Re-insulating everything, and then the inside putting the walls back together and all that good stuff I think starts next week. So it's not done, but we never were able to spend the night there or anything, which kind of sucked, but it was also fun because I was with my mom and my sister all the time, so that was nice too. I would have rather that she invited me to sleep over and that all that stuff didn't go down at our
that's
house.
a better situation.
But it worked out.
Yeah. So, well, at least you had the spot to go over to. That would have been a real bummer if she was like 10 towns over, or you didn't have anyone there. Like,
she's
we're
literally
just getting on a plane
200 meters down the driveway, so it all worked out. But a lot of people asking. So it's not fixed yet, but it will be, and that's pretty much the only update because I won't see it again till this summer.
It'll be fine.
It'll be fine.
Not on the mind until the summer.
We just keep getting the bill. I don't care. Just fix it. And then this summer, hopefully everything's great.
Yeah, it will be. That's good. What else did you guys get up to? You did some running indoors. Did you do anything outside? I think I saw a video or a photo.
Yeah, I like running outside.
You're a yak tracker, huh?
I use pins now. I used to use Yak Tracks, which is I love Yak Tracks, but I break them so easily.
Okay.
So I switched to pins a few years ago. Like Wetmore's into like these chain things, but I don't like them. This Due North brand, I really like their pins because I can run if you cross pavement or if you do hit like road, you can barely feel them. You know what I mean?
So is this a contraption you put on the shoe?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And so I like that. The boys have them. I have them. I wear them a lot more than they do, but, and it just makes me feel, obviously if it's sheer ice, I'm not that crazy. I'll just like take the day off. We don't have a treadmill up there. Or if I'm that desperate, I'll like go to the gym or something, Sure. But, there was a day that I took off because it was like, when we first got there, it was actually a little bit warm, and then it was rain that eventually turned into snow, but at first it was just like a sheet of ice, and I went out and I slipped like 3 times, and I'm like, well, this is dumb, Plus, the more I slip, the worse my dystonia is. But in general, if it's packed snow, I actually really, really like running on that. And I wear my pins, and I just like I don't know, I like the cold. I'm weird.
I feel like you've said this before, you run super hot. Like you'll be in a tank top and I'll be in a long sleeve with a sweatshirt over it.
Yeah. So there was the last day I ran there, it was like -22 with wind chill, probably like, I can't remember, -5 or 6 regular. And I have to say, I was wearing just the Brooks fleece line tights.
Mm-hmm.
That's it on the bottom. Those are legit.
I don't think I've ever done anything more than a pair of tights.
Yeah. When on the way out, it was pretty windy, and I was like, well, I could have used like a thin pair of pants over this. Like my hammies are a little cold, but by the time I warmed up, I was fine. And so, and then even on top, like I just was wearing a Brooks thermal shirt and a jacket, but then I am a wuss about, I need a neck gaiter. That makes like all the difference. And then I tuck it up on top of my hat so it stays up, but it kind of goes under my chin. And then a little Vaseline on the nose.
Vaseline.
Yeah.
You know, one of my least favorite things about winter running, Like the slipping, whatever. Like I don't like to fall. It's cold. All of it's manageable. One of my least favorite things that no one talks about is when you start to freeze up and you're
Oh,
like, wow, I didn't know that I got so warm there. Or like that I had a rogue hair there. Like it's just so revealing. And I'm like, why is there frost there? Oh
oh
my,
my
you
gosh,
know?
that's so
You ever notice
funny.
that? It's
Yeah.
just, yeah, you're like, oh, I
When
don't
I
like where I'm freezing up.
Yeah, why thanks for letting me know, guys. Yeah.
Right.
When I first moved back to Boulder, like the winters in Oregon are so mild, right? Like yes, it's rainy and it's gray, but it's so rare that it's truly cold. And I moved back to Boulder. My first run is a long run. And I am so overdressed, Des. Like I am like dressed like it's negative 22 out. And I'm running and I'm sweating profusely, but it is cold though. It's probably like 20 something. And when I finished, my jacket had like ice in it, like
It's
actual,
like
like, yeah, because I was
chunks.
sweating so much. Yes, it had chunks. I was like,
Yeah.
okay, I need to
You're
relearn how to dress
crispy.
for the elements here. I definitely didn't need this jacket that is
Yeah.
making me sweat even more. But yeah, winter running is really revealing. Like you'll get like a little frost on your face and you're like, wow, cool. I didn't need to know
Right.
that. Great.
I that's like what I do as I'm running. I'm just sort of like maintaining, like, especially if I'm running with Ryan. I'm like, oh no, get that later, you
Yeah.
know? Or you're like, it's like
Uh,
someone's running next to you and you're like, oh, their butt crack's frosty. Like, oh,
yes.
yours is too?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
know. It is very revealing. I don't know. I just like it. I'd rather be cold than hot. I don't know. I think, that's just where I grew up. And so I didn't even know that you didn't have to live like that till I went to college.
Yeah,
And then
no, it's like natural part
yeah,
of
it's just
the
like you just
seasons.
dress
Just the season
warmer,
for it.
like you
Right.
just go with the time of year. And then I went to college and I was like, oh, you don't have to have snow like piled higher than your car on the side of the road. Like that doesn't have, people don't
Not
have to live
everyone.
like
I could
that.
choose
Yeah.
to live somewhere else.
Yeah. Yeah. But
I
I
agree.
do like it.
I
Yeah.
do enjoy it. I think it's peaceful because not a lot of people
Yes.
do it. I think when you get to the trails like first and it's runnable, it's really fun.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, there's a lot of pros to it too. I feel
Yeah.
like I'm
Like,
just being a sissy right now.
but I don't do it. I was there for a week. If I was there
Yeah.
like long term, I might be different, right? But I like going in the morning. I like seeing all the tracks from all the deer. I don't know. I really like it. And like I never see anyone else out running. I see them in the summer,
Yeah.
but not this time of year. So I don't know. And it's just like with all the snow, it's like this dampened quiet,
Hmm.
and I like that. Listen, I
Yeah.
don't want to live and be freezing my butt off all the time. It's just I'd enjoy it when I'm there. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, maybe I feel like right now, maybe it's knowing how much is left, just not
Yes.
ready to be in it yet. But the other thing is well, I did a couple snow runs this season, and the last one was like someone had skied on my trail and
Mm,
then it snowed on top of it, but it had frozen in the divots. So like
right.
when you go matters too. So you're just like
Yes.
dipping into their tracks. I'm like, this trail's ruined for a while.
I
Um,
know.
and then that just kind of I was like onto the treadmill.
That's what's funny is that's what happens here in Boulder when it snows is I'm a person who as soon as it starts snowing, I go outside. I love running while snow is falling. It's one of my favorite phenomenons. But then 2 days later when it's all iced over and bumpy, I'm like, assholes.
Yeah, you ruined it. It was good for
Even
three
though I'm the
days.
person that
Yeah.
also went out and did it. But yeah. I'm like, dang it. Now it's going to be icy for like 2 weeks, even though I'm just as guilty because I love to do it too.
Well, let's talk a little bit about fitness during this season because I think that that's such a hard. It's just everyone's kind of in it right now, right? And you're going like, should I be outside? Should I be on the treadmill? How am I going to get fit? What does this mean? Like, what type of fitness are people gaining? Make a case for running in the snow versus skipping it versus getting on a treadmill. Where
Yeah,
are you going? Why are you doing it?
I think like I've evolved over this. Like I grew up where you just didn't really run in the winter because it was really hard. So you just switched and skied. And then
Mm-hmm.
and then you switched back to running and we didn't think that deeply. It was like, oh well, there's snow on the ground, so now we're gonna Nordic ski. And then I went to college and I remember I'd come back, it would be sometimes almost 3 weeks that I would be in Duluth. And I remember my coach Wetmore would always be like, don't stress about your mileage or paces or any workout when you're there. you're going to, like you have days where it's -40, you're going to have days where it's nice. Like when you get a good day, go do a fartlek, do like 2 minutes on, 3 minutes off, or go for a longer run. But just do what you can and don't stress. Like your body and your heart's not going to know the difference when you get back to Boulder. It's not going to say, well, she never got on a track or this or that, And that was such great advice. And it's so true. I'd always come back and I'd be fine. I could keep up with all my teammates that were in milder climates. But then I moved to a different situation with Salazar and Schumacher, who are both really like, you got to hit the pace and you got to hit the mileage. And if you're 3 miles under, if you're 5 seconds slower per mile, you've ruined everything.
Your season's over.
Yeah. And so I became kind of like obsessed, and I would always go find a treadmill and all this stuff. And I guess it's easier because I'm on the other side of it now too. I'm not preparing for a race, but I've really realized how it's not true. Your body doesn't know the difference. And I went for a run, like we said, it was -20 out. I can't go run 6:20 pace, even if I'm in great shape. It's not good for my muscles because they're fighting so hard to stay warm. It's not even safe, right? But so like the effort though is the effort, and it's okay to have that effort be where it is. I think about the last few years where it's super icy and I don't feel comfortable running, and the kids will go sledding, and while they're sledding, I'll just hike up the sledding hill and jog down, hike up and down. While they're doing that for like 45 minutes, my body doesn't know that I didn't run that day. You know what I mean? So it's just had me thinking about how, and I will admit that I have the luxury of, I don't have a race on the calendar in 3 weeks or in 4 weeks or something like that. But I sometimes think we overdo it trying to compensate for the weather. And it's okay to adjust things and be a little bit more flexible in the winter. And your body doesn't know that you didn't hit those 400s perfectly or that your long run was a mile short. Like it really doesn't.
Right. I think I always remind myself in this season that hard work is hard work.
Yes.
Right. Which is what you're saying. And it's so like, I mean, I'll look at my watch afterwards and it's like 8:40 pace, which I'm usually running 6:40. And if you read into every little thing, it gets really hard to be motivated and get out the door. So time on feet, effort, those things all, like your body just knows stress. It doesn't know why. So I remind myself of those things. But you're right. It is different when you're like, I know a lot of people are getting ready for Boston right now or getting ready for London or marathons coming up. And there's some balance to it, I think.
Yeah.
So you can do some of that stuff. But at the same time, like if you can do your sessions or find your pace or remind your body every now and then, that helps too.
Yeah, I think it's interesting. I think about when I ran at CU, we didn't have a proper indoor facility. And so sometimes like we would be planning on doing a hard session on the track Friday and we get a snowstorm. And then it would just get canceled and it would be like hit a treadmill or go on the creek path for an easy hour. And when I was back here training for the Olympic trials in 2016, CU got this beautiful indoor facility. It's a 300-meter track. It's like amazing. But there's never a day like that, and the injury rate on the team went up, right? Because like the weather naturally forced you to back off once or twice a month, and it made you like be a little bit more in tune with your body. And then, but when you don't have that, you just can always force it, right? So I felt like, and I saw it. I mean, even Whitmer would say like they got more injured those winters when they got the new facility versus before, because there was he never said, just don't worry about it. Go run an easy, slow hour. I don't care how fast it is. I don't care how far you go. Like those days were gone. So I think about that too. Like, especially if you are training for Boston or London and you live in a challenging climate, it is better to err on the side of caution. I know you want to be as fit as can be. It's like again, what we're used to just saying, you're going home. You're not going to lose fitness. You may not gain fitness, but you're not going to lose it, So
but I think there is some people, I mean, I think that you surprise yourself too. I think you might be gaining fitness. You just don't have that conversion. Like I think about JP Flavin, who's doing his marathon project segment in Michigan, and it's cold and they're getting a couple days of snow, and he's dealing with those challenges, and he might not see the splits, but one, he's already fit going in. Two, that it's not a toughness thing, but I think it's just extra work that doesn't beat you up. I'm thinking of it like, I don't know, it's like Ultra G, or Boost Treadmill, where it's like you're still doing it, you're just not actually damaging yourself as much, because it's just more work to lift your feet out of snow or like stay
Right.
upright. You're engaging different things. And then you do get that good day. You get the pavement that's dry, and all of a sudden you're like a fucking superhero, and you're like, oh, I am fit. So
Right.
I guess the point of all that is it is adding up, and you are getting fit. You just have to trust that it's working.
Right.
And then when you get your good days, you get to see it. So I don't know. I think it's another thing where I think about the marathon and like the amount of patience it takes.
Yes.
Just one more way to remind you to stay patient, because when you get the good footing, when the weather does start to turn, it's there. It's still there.
Yeah. I think like it's just this time of year in general is tough, like with all of the holidays and like trying to get together with family and friends and doing all the things. Like I saw so many people on social media just stressing out about, finding the right facility or not getting their workout in. And I get it. I don't want to say like, oh, you guys are crazy, because trust me, I used to get up at the butt crack of dawn. No, it wouldn't even be light out. I'd be with a headlamp on Christmas to go get into my super long workout. So I'd be back by 8:30 so everybody else could get up at a reasonable time to enjoy Santa. Like I get it. But I also think sometimes when I look back, I didn't need to stress as much as I did, and maybe I did more harm than good. It was one thing when the Olympic trials were January 14th that one year. That's different, like
Sure.
I'm trying to make an Olympic team. We didn't even acknowledge Christmas happened. Colt was so little, he didn't even know. And we celebrated it afterwards, and he got a full Christmas, but he got it like January 20th or something, But so there's times where, you have to be super focused. But I think like part of, like, as you said, the marathon is patience and being able to adapt. Like nothing is ever going to go exactly how you imagine it's going to go, not even in the race itself. So it's like these little challenges of weather or family things that ran later than you thought, like adapting to that and not building up this massive anxiety because things didn't go exactly how you wanted. Like these are good things to learn how to do,
Yeah, no, that makes a ton of sense. And again, it's like if the anxiety adds to stress is
Right.
stress, right? So you're just making those days even more taxing on the body.
Yeah.
But all of that's easier said than done. I'm not saying
for sure.
that's an easy thing to just let go. What kind of sessions are you doing in the winter if you are in the snow? Obviously in the past, but if you're doing some now, like what stuff makes sense, or what do you think mentally you could be like, I can do this and not freak out about the watch or
I'm really big on fartlek.
Yeah.
Like really big on fartlek. I mean, and granted, that's because I went to Colorado where we did a lot of fartlek. So we'd start off the year, everyone's out of shape. It'd be 1 minute on, 4 minutes off, and then be 2 minutes on, 3 minutes off, and eventually 3 minutes on, then it would go all the way to 4 minutes on, 1 minute off. But I really like fartlek because it's kind of like hill repeats. Like it's really up to you to do the pushing because no one really knows how hard your effort is. But I think it's a good way to push yourself where you can just throw the clock away or not. Well, you have the clock, but you're not stressing about your pace and mileage. Right. And I also really like if you can just find a good hill that has good traction, or just like I can think of the place by our house in Minnesota. It always has good footing. It's about 200 meters. And I use that all the time. Like even when I was there, I would run 3 miles, make sure I was really good and warm. And I'm not timing any of this, but I'm running from there to there as hard as I can, thinking about having good knee lift. And so it's like, that would be the same as like doing repeats on the track, but it's not. Or the fartlek is the same as doing repeat, 400s or 800s or Ks, but it's not, but it is.
Right.
Are
you ever looking at your watch during that? Like, I think that's for me, one of the problems with fartleks is I'm just like, well, I know I'm off pace, or I know this isn't, and then you start to think about the pace versus just running hard.
Yeah. I think I don't like to look at the pace because it'll just make me spiral, right? Like when I was in college or even as a professional, if I'm doing a 2-minute push, it should be sub 5-minute pace, and it's not if I look. And I just have to and I think that is one thing. And I know I've talked about this before, but I think that for a lot of us runners, we've got so addicted to seeing the pace that we've forgotten to learn how to listen to our body of am I running hard enough right now? And so that would kind of be my challenge to people is when the weather is bad or it's snowy and you're going to be using extra miles because you are going to sink in a little bit and you are going to be wearing extra layers, wear an old fashioned Timex if you have one and really just try to get in touch with what does it feel like when I'm running race effort? Like, am
Yeah.
I running that right now? Like, what does that actually feel like? Because I think a lot of us have short circuited our own intrinsic data and our own ability to listen to ourselves. And I feel lucky because I grew up wearing a freaking Swatch watch, and my coach would be like, go run 30 minutes. I'd be like, well, it's 3:22, we'll flip
Right.
at 3:37 and then we'll come back. And so I really had to learn that stuff. And I think, like, I'm not sure that Cole can do that. He has a Garmin. He's had a Garmin forever. And, I don't know how good he is at those sorts of lessons because I'm not with him at practice, but he always has this data.
There's feedback, right?
But it's like, you should be able to say, how hard can I go for a minute that's manageable, knowing that I'm going to get 2 minutes recovery and then I'm going to do it 10 times. Like, you should be able to kind of be able to feel that,
Yeah. See, I'm terrible at that stuff, and I've never liked fartleks because I just am like, I have to run so hard because I'm probably running too slow. So I need to pick it up. And then like by number 3 or number 4, like, oh no, those were hard enough. I can't finish the workout. So there's the other side of it. It's like,
right.
You still have to be patient, smart about your workout, where if it's a full session, you're not going
too hard
all out in that first one, and then you can't finish the session. So again, it's going back to patience of like, okay, I have to be smart about how I approach this, which is something that I need to be better at. On
I think we all do.
But I think if it's like a pace thing, you have the governor and you're like, well, of course I wouldn't go out, under 240 for the first rep of 15,800s. Like, that would be crazy.
Right.
So yeah, I mean, I think it's a learning thing, but those are all good things to practice. And you have an opportunity in the winter where it's like, hey, this is not ideal, but let's see if I can get better at this other thing.
Yeah, I think the winter is a good time to like work on those basics, like learning how to read your body. Like, what is my breathing like when I'm at my max? So what are my arms feel like? It's a really good chance to do hills, like to do like just these basic workouts that we do when we're kids and then we tend to move away from. It's just a good chance to work on that stuff. And honestly, if you're running the Houston Marathon on January 11th, right? No, yeah, it's a little bit different. You need to be a little bit more dialed in, but I think it's good to sometimes embrace not the down season because you're training for Boston or London or something, but the imperfections, because I think it makes you a better athlete.
Well, it's definitely the early season for spring marathons, right? Now is the time to just work on the fundamentals, as you said, and like getting the base mileage or time on feet or whatever that is. The other thing is, if it carries into the mid-season to late season, you're right, you do have to adjust, but you can then use the tools like the treadmill and say, you know what, I need to go downhill a bit. Let me get on the treadmill. Let me set it downhill. Let me get the quads ready and start adding those things in a little bit more controlled environment. So it's balancing the two. And I do think that shifts as you get to the mid-season, and then hopefully the weather shifts as you get to the final finishing
And as
touches.
you get to the mid-season, if the weather hasn't shifted, that is the time to invest in the gym pass. Because you want to get on that treadmill and you want to feel that race specificity and you want to make sure you're dialed in on it, right? So
at least from a mental component, right? Like you want to get on there and go, oh, this stuff that I
am okay.
And have been doing is working, or let's spend more time on here getting comfortable at pace.
Totally.
So yeah, that shift happens too. How are you on treadmills? I know you use the lever a lot. Do you like the treadmill? Do you feel comfortable on treadmills?
I used to hate treadmills, like that's why I'll go run in negative 22-degree weather rather than get on a treadmill. I've never owned a treadmill in Minnesota, which is actually kind of funny because of all the places that's where you'd think you'd want it. Like my sister, I said, her daughter's getting ready for some races and she's like, well, you have a treadmill in your garage, right? And I was like, no. And she was like, what? All these years of professional running and I just never got one.
Yeah.
But I don't like the treadmill. I will say it's gotten a lot easier now because now you can watch a million shows and all that stuff that when I was younger, it was just like listening to music or something. I don't love it. But for me, it's more of, my body was tense when I got back from Minnesota because I did all of my running outside. And there was a couple days I took off. And like I said, I will just like hike up the hill and jog down in my boots and everything while the kids are sledding. And I'm like, it's a workout. I mean, I move my body for 40 minutes. It doesn't know any different. But every time I did run, it was icy and it was cold and I did have pins. And even though I slowed down, I was a little bit more tense, So I got back and I was like, ooh, everything's a little sore. And it was just like, I probably should have been stretching, taking the time to stretch, which I never did because I just get back and like jump into some family thing. I should have been, like all those little things that you do when you care about your performance. Maybe, I should have gotten some body work or something, but really I just should have taken the time to stretch. It does change. Like it's not a perfect trade over, right? Because my stride is definitely a little bit shortened because I don't want to slip. So I don't want to be I don't want to be lopey with my stride. Not that I can anyway anymore, but everything's a little bit more tightened up because I want to be aware. So I think that does wear on you. Oh no, you're asking me about treadmill. Sorry, I'm like going on a tangent.
That's good. But I think that's an interesting thing. If you are doing this winter grind, then maybe, and you're getting ready for a race, like body work becomes a little bit more important.
Oh, for sure.
The little things become, so it's a little nod as well. But go back to the treadmill thing.
Oh, what was funny is that we got home Saturday night. And so yesterday I ran on our treadmill and I was so tight. My hamstrings, my quads, everything. But I was in the lever. And so I did try to focus on having as long of a stride as possible. And today I feel great. So it's like, it's almost like the treadmill helped me get out of that funk. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, you can turn over in your normal pattern, right?
Yeah. So I think it's just like using all the tools that you have at your hands, right?
Yes. And I think it's seeing the value in different tools because I think some people get so locked into like, well, if you don't go outside and run at 6 a.m, then you're don't
not
care
a real
enough.
runner. Yeah.
It doesn't like matter if you have headphones in while and it's like none of that's it. The miles are the miles. The hard work is hard work, and there's a place for going outside and being tough and trudging through some snow and gaining strength, and all of those things can be valuable. But there's also a place for, hey, you know what? You've been running in this form. It's awkward. Like you need to loosen up. You need to get back to your pattern. You need to understand what this pace is going to mean, and so maybe use this other tool. And there's not one that's like wrong or better, or they're just different tools.
Totally. And I do want to say sometimes it is not safe to go outside. And
sure.
So don't just try to be, it's like we flew in to the cities first and spent the night at my friend's house, woke up to a sheet of ice. And I was like, I don't care. We have to drive up to Duluth. I'm just going to run 3 miles slow. And I got on her driveway and almost, I was like and then I still was like, oh, maybe I'll just like walkish joggish. And I got to the end of the block and I was like, what am I doing? I'm taking today off. Today is not happening,
And that's the tool for that day, right? Like if you don't have the treadmill and you don't have
it's like
good footing, then it's a recovery day, and that's significantly more valuable than going out and cracking your ass
and getting hurt. Like falling, breaking my wrist, or like tweaking my knee. It was just like this, it was like the third day that I hadn't done anything, and so I was like, no, I have to do something today. And then it was just like, no, I actually can't. This is actually not safe. And so I thought I was taking a couple days off. Now I'm taking 3. It's just a little extra recovery. And when I go to run my 5K, whenever I do it this year, it's not going to remember that I took 3 days off instead of 2. You know what I mean?
Did you feel like your fitness dropped after that third day? When you went for your run on the 4th day, were you completely out of shape? Did you regret that third day?
But I totally get that feeling, I will say, because I used to be much more neurotic, and I've really relaxed as I've gotten away from racing and as I've gotten older. So I want to say that I genuinely understand that feeling, but absolutely not. I got good footing the next day. I was only going to go 3 miles. I ended up going almost 6, and I felt great. So.
Were you making up for the mileage?
No, okay. I was just like, because we had a snowstorm coming in. And I was like, well, I don't know if I'm going to be able to run tomorrow. And I feel good. I wasn't punishing myself.
Right.
That's the other thing. Don't punish yourself because you missed. That just digs a hole. And I think,
sorry.
No, go ahead.
No, I think there's punishing yourself, but then there's also like making up for, you know, like I'm not like saying, oh, I feel so bad, but I missed this workout. So maybe I can stack it into this workout and make it longer. And you're not going to.
But then you make yourself vulnerable, right? It's just like, sometimes the misses, you just miss. And that's what I was saying about earlier before you had their indoor facility. It was like, well, we were going to do this huge mile repeat workout, and instead you're going to go run 45 minutes to an hour as safely as it needs to be slow, right? Or as slow as it needs. Yeah. And we just missed it. And we didn't make it up 2 days later, and we didn't make it up the next Friday. We just ran it the next time it was on the schedule, which was like 3 or 4 weeks later. And I think that's a skill I wish sometimes I had been able to keep throughout my whole career, because I lost that for about a decade.
Now, how does that apply to spring, summer, fall? Same
It's same
philosophy?
thing.
Same
Yeah.
thing.
Like there are days where you're tired, you're dragging, you didn't recover the way you thought you were going to, and you go out to run a workout. I mean, that's one thing I'm so grateful I ended with Wetmore too. Like, it's not happening today. Like, I'd run my first rep and it's not happening. I'm like, no, I'll warm into it. The second one, then he's like, we're done. And I'm like, well, we come back tomorrow? No.
No.
And it's okay.
Right.
You need more time, and there's nothing wrong with that. And just because we wrote up this weekly document doesn't mean you have failed now, you know? So there was a good 10 years where I lost that. And I think that's why I spent a lot of time being injured. And the
Right.
highs were high and the lows were low, right?
Well, then you take all those little Swiss cheese days that could have been spread out and like, oh, that's just a Swiss cheese day
Yeah.
versus like, oh no, this is where I'm missing all the cheese because I had to take 3 months
Because now I have a
off
stress
for an
fracture.
injury. Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
So there's a lot of value
Yeah.
in that.
I think people can be gentler on themselves in the winter, but it really applies all the time.
Yeah.
Like sometimes you just need more recovery, or sometimes it is just too hot and it's not safe. Or, you know, like here in Colorado, we have all this fire danger, and we have really bad air quality. And it's happened in the Midwest the last couple of years from Canadian wildfires.
Mm-hmm.
And people are like killing the, like, it's okay to not go out there and breathe that air today.
Yeah, I think it's also these people that are probably most likely to do that are obviously incredibly motivated, and you miss the day and you're like, I just feel so lazy. I'm so lazy. Like that's my conversation with myself. I'm like, I miss a day. I'm like, oh, I'm like just being lazy today. It's like there might be something more there.
Right.
And
Maybe it
that's
was a
okay.
little gift of a little extra recovery, and maybe you're going to feel a little bit better on your next workout, which is going to give you a little bit more confidence. So it's okay if then the plan doesn't go exactly how you thought. Obviously, you don't want to miss, if you have 3 days that matter a week and you miss them all week after week after week, don't come to me and tell me that I told you it was going to be okay, because that's not going to be okay. But it's just like, it's so rare that things go 100% according to plan. I mean, it doesn't happen. And part of being an athlete and part of reaching your goals is not letting that ruin all the work you have done. And being like, you know what? That I can't run today. The fire danger is, the smoke is too bad. It's not healthy for my lungs. And that sucks, but it doesn't undo this whole body of work that I did till today and all the work I'm going to do, you know, in the next few days when I can get back out there. So, yeah.
Love that. Good place to pivot. We're going to see a lot of folks who train through late fall and winter in Houston this weekend. Some pretty fun races lined up. Tell me about what we're up to, Kara.
We're going to be there, and we're going to be having a live pod Friday night at 7:00. We still have tickets if you guys want to come join us. We're excited to kick off the year there. We have more live pods on our calendar than ever this year, but we're excited to start the season right in Houston. And you're going to be on the broadcast at the marathon later that weekend. So it's just a fun way to kick it off. And we'd love to have everybody, right?
Yes, and you can get tickets from, I think we'll have a link in the show notes or both of our bios on Instagram. And it's going to be awesome. I think we are going to really dig into the fields and what we expect from the race, and maybe some Houston history at that live show. So if you can't make it live, we'll have a pod drop either Friday or Saturday, most likely Saturday. And that'll give you a little preview guide to Houston Half and Houston Marathon. And also this weekend coming up, cross country.
Yep.
Big
cross country
races
in the United States.
Yeah.
Super exciting. It is interesting. I thought that there would be more, I don't know, maybe I'm just not, I've been in like holiday mode, but I haven't heard a ton of hype like I thought I would leading up to it. World cross country is so fun. It's so special. It's the craziest race I've ever run. I mean, I grew up hearing, oh, if you go to World cross country, like they go out so hard. And I'm like, how hard can they go out? And then I experienced it. It's like insane, but it's so fun and it's so cool, and seeing all the countries, and it's going to be here in the United States. And I'm kind of bummed that I won't be able to see it, but live, but
we
be able to watch it somewhere.
It will be on TV. We can put that in the show notes as well. Just a little info for folks. And then also this weekend is Disney half
Oh, yeah.
marathon. And a lot of folks do the Goofy Challenge, which I agree is goofy, but you do you. So that'll be exciting too. Big weekend of racing coming up. Different levels,
Different levels, different everything.
distances, all kinds of energy. But it's going to be great because we're going to get back on the road to covering results and recapping who's running well and all those great things. So
Yeah, I kind of wanted the racing season to be over, but now I'm like last month, I was like, I don't want to talk about racing anymore. But now I'm like, I'm ready to talk about racing. Did you see that Beatrice Chebet, 2-time reigning champion, won't be there because she is pregnant?
It's exciting for her. Exciting. Less exciting for the fans.
Yeah.
But also baby Beatrice Chebet is kind of cool. That'll be exciting in another 20 years as well.
Yes. Yeah. She deserves to take a little stress off. I think the expectations for her have piled on quite a bit. And so I'm really happy for her. And I think we will see her back out there. It will not change who she is. There's plenty of female examples who came back after giving birth. I would cite Faith Kipyegon as the biggest one, but
seems
there's a million. Yeah, she's doing just fine.
She's doing okay.
Yeah. So I was actually really happy to see that. And yeah. And she even said something about like how hard she's worked the last couple of years. It's like,
give yourself a little breather. It's basically like the winter running of life.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just take that season. Don't look at the watch, Chebet. Just take your time.
Take your time.
So that'll be fun to recap those races next week and just dig into it along with Houston. So let's do that then. Anything else today? What else are you thinking about?
That's it. Right?
Yeah. Let's do you want to do top 5?
Yeah, let's do top 5.
Okay. I actually didn't think about this at all.
I didn't either.
Usually I have a couple things. Go ahead.
This isn't really top 5, but
it's in the top 5
mentioned it earlier and we were like, how much we can't bag on Grand Slam anymore. But this is just an interesting note for my first one of the day, which is that it was announced that they're $31 million in debt when their budget was $30 million and they've already paid out supposedly about a third of the payment. So I can't wait to hear more about that.
That's exciting. I mean, 31 million spent on track and field. That deserves to be in the top 5 for sure.
Yes.
Let's hope the rest.
We're not talking about them anymore. But it is interesting. Those woes continue. So that's actually kind of mean. So I'm not going to do that. I'm actually going to say that today I booked my flights for the Boston New Balance indoor games.
Oh, fun.
And so indoor track is starting. And so we have Houston, we have road cross country, we have Disney, and indoor track is also starting. So it just feels like kind of exciting that like the year is kicking off and racing is coming back.
All right. That's a good one. I'm going to follow that up with Milrose, who has some great races on the horizon, which I believe you will be calling as well. Mm-hmm. You can correct me if I'm wrong. So those will be exciting. And I think it was David Monty who posted something earlier. There's a Cole Hocker Grant Fisher rematch.
Yeah.
And he said more fireworks coming on that field. I don't know who he's talking about. It's not announced yet, but I got really excited for the announcement because if that's not enough fireworks, who else can you add? So that'll be fun.
I know. That'll be a great meet. I'm excited about that. That's the week after the Boston meet. Sometimes I feel bad for the Boston meet because it's kind of like everyone does their and you need to have that. You need to have a good first meet of the year where people are challenged and they blow the rest out and all that stuff. But sometimes I feel bad for them because it's like, okay, and how is Milrose the next week where everyone's like super hot and sharpened and ready to go? But they're both really good. Do you feel
like Milrose is more distance oriented though? Yes. Or do you think it's pretty, because I feel like New Balance always comes out pretty hot in the sprints. Maybe I'm wrong.
I agree. New Balance is way more sprint oriented. And just working on the broadcast, like Milrose is like my best day of the year. Like I get to call, we end with a mile. You know, there's like, there'll be Yard Nagoose going for number 4 or something. Right. And world trying to get the world record back. There'll be this, there'll be a women's incredible mile. There'll be this battle between Cole Hocker and Grant Fisher in the middle, and we'll show it all. And so it's like my Super Bowl, Milrose, because we show all of the distance stuff and it's all electric. And where I do think New Balance is a little bit more sprint heavy. which is
True.
fair.
I agree. Yeah,
whatever.
makes some sense.
Yeah.
And you'll get to do it in Boston. I know it's been done at that track the last couple of years now.
Yeah.
But that's an exciting
a really
venue.
nice track.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great. All right, you're up.
Oh, shoot. Okay. I'm going to just go with Minnesota. I spent a couple days in Minneapolis and then 6 days in Duluth, and it doesn't matter if I'm in the middle of the state, that's significantly warmer, or if I'm up north. I just love it. I love the people. I love the community. I love the weather. So Minnesota, I love ya. I had a great, even through all that stress, I had the best time. So
nice.
It was good.
All right. I'm going to go with travel. It's back on. We're going places. We're doing things. We're shaking it up. Yeah, no, I've enjoyed being at home. I've enjoyed staying put. A little bit of this is self cheerleading so that I can get back on that plane and be excited. Yeah. But yeah, I think we're going to good places. We've got Houston on deck. I think we'll be doing some stuff with Brooks in Seattle and Arizona, and then there's Miami for me, and you've got Boston and New York, and so we're back on the travel train, and I'm sending good omens. It's going to be a good thing this year. May there be no delays or turbulence or incidents.
That'd be great. We'll see. Okay, I'm gonna, for the last one, I'm actually gonna shout out my mom.
Ooh, I like this.
Who I hadn't seen her since July, and I cannot believe how hard she's been working. You know, when I left in July, she couldn't put any weight on one of her feet. There was a lot of talk that I was going to have to be amputated, and she was such a good little patient. It was awful. She went like 10 weeks without being, just like confined to such a small space because she literally couldn't put any pressure on this foot. And that was at the end of maybe September that she got to start using that foot again. And even though she still has some paralysis, or she does in her right leg, she is walking around without a walker, without a cane. She's driving. At night, she uses her walker and stuff when she gets a little bit more tired. But it's like, I cannot even believe it. I'm so proud of her. And the way I left her in this like super depressive state of like, you have to sit on this couch, which we thought was going to be 2 weeks. It ended up being 10 weeks.
Yeah.
To now, she's just doing incredible. She's driving herself to PT. She's super serious about it. And so just for anyone who feels like down in the dumps, like my mom, they were talking about amputating her foot, and now she's driving and thriving, and like you can get there too. It was really awesome to see her. I'm super proud of her.
Love it. Yeah. Good job putting in the work.
Good job,
staying
Daddy.
patient. Yeah. And now you get to see the results. Love it. All right. Good job.